So Vōng, how does it feel to be back here at the Gould Theater?
Honestly, it's very emotional. It was such a huge moment in my life and in my career.
It was last January at this very spot Vōng held his Rice Asian Comedy Showcase, followed by Fresh Rice featuring new talent. It was a 15-year career journey getting to this point. Raised in Winnipeg in a diverse neighborhood, Vōng grew up very proud of his Laotian heritage. But when he went away to Calgary for school, he suddenly felt isolated as one of the few Asian students on campus.
And what I found was, our stories weren't being told. Not in an authentic way anyway, and most of the time not in any way at all. So while I went to engineering school, I started to organize human rights conferences and speaking out about, being proud of our heritage, sharing our stories. And I learned if you're on stage for an hour, you still have to be funny, or else people will, it doesn't matter what you're talking about.
Recognizing the power of comedy, Vōng started doing stand-up at local clubs.
What up, Calgary?
I would say the first 10 years of my career was predominantly white audiences. Sometimes they'd say crazy things like, oh my God, nobody's ever made me wish I was gay and Asian before. And for me, what I thought is okay, if I could make a straight white guy oil field worker feel that way, imagine if there's an Asian in the audience, they would feel a sense of pride in a way that they probably hadn't before.
There's a group of Asians in Toronto who are terrified you're gonna find out that they're Asian. Yeah, the first Chinese guy I met in Toronto was named Jose.
It was about 10 years into my career where I decided, you know what, I need to start building my own audience, because I also felt it starting to affect my comedy too, because if you're always performing for majority white audiences, the jokes need more exposition. You have to explain more, and that kind of ruins the joke a bit. I know a lot of people talk about representation on the stage, but for me, it's about representation in the audience as well.
At his showcase last year, 2/3 of the audience was non-white. Vōng helped to mentor the 8 new comedians for 6 months leading up to the show.
And one thing I kept having to say is, don't write this for white people. I was like, this majority Asian audience will reject you if they feel like you're not speaking to them.
Anna Lo took that to heart, sharing stories and observations from her life as the daughter of Chinese immigrants.
I could have been born in China. My name could have had an X.
I'm sure people have all these preconceived notions of what Chinese people are like, or what Sri Lankan people are like. But once you see them on stage and break those stereotypes, it's kind of like a paradigm shift.
She also uses her comedy to expose stereotypes by playing off of them.
What kind of Asian marinates their dog in tomato juice?
I hate stereotypes, so that's why I was like, you know what, I'm going to turn that stereotype around and make fun of it. Even funnier than you are going to make it. They say laughter is the best medicine, so that's the closest thing for me becoming a doctor. So there you go, Mom and Dad.
I think what I like for people to take away is that everybody has a story, and our stories are important, and our stories are our legacy, and our stories are how we connect with other people. So whether it's through stand-up comedy, whether it's through poetry, whether it's through film, get your stories out there.